Biden and his team are meeting with the Republicans to finalize another stimulus bill of $1.9 trillion. But of course, the Republicans, they're not agreeing to it. They have their own proposal, which is watered down. Now, one of the biggest issues before I get into that, let's go into a bit more details of what the plans are. So the Republicans want to tone it down from 1.9 trillion to 618 billion. And the stimulus check per person would be $1,000. But this time, the qualification will be a little bit more strict. Not everybody would just get it. You would have to have some qualifying factors which will be a bit more comprehensive and a bit more strict from what they were previously. All said and done, the way it's being presented is individuals will end up with $1,600 in their pocket. How? This potential $1,000 and then the $600 you received last year. So according to this watered down bill, individuals earning up to 40 grand per year would be eligible for the full payment. Those with incomes at that threshold and above would see payments gradually phased out, and eligibility would be capped at 50 grand in annual pay. For married couples who file taxes jointly, the payment would begin phasing out at 80 grand in income and be capped at 100,000. So the way they've calculated is the checks would total an estimated of $220 billion. Now, of course, this bill will also have some other provisions, money for businesses, money for the states, so on and so forth. Here's my gripe with it. Imagine a surgeon who has a patient on the bed in front of him in an ICU. The surgeon knows that eventually he has to perform surgery on that patient in order to save that patient's life. But the surgeon keeps on postponing it and wants to try out other methods, also known as Band-Aid methods. Maybe give him this medication, maybe let's do this, maybe let's do that. Let's not cut him open yet. And this is what the government is doing continuously. They want to make it seem like the government is trying to help out the people by putting money into their hands. Now, you tell me, if you were to get this $1,000, how's that going to help you? Will it completely cover your rent or your car payments or your food payments? Will you be able to drag that money out for the next few months? Or is it just going to be a one-time expenditure and it's done, it's gone? What are you going to do then? It's very tough, it's very hard, but this is what the government is doing. They're trying out these Band-Aid methods. Look busy, do nothing ideology, basically. You cannot put enough money into people's hands. You cannot put it for long enough into people's hands to pass this hard time. What you have to eventually realize is you have to open up the economy completely. You have to decrease the restrictions. And here's why. We can't copy the rest of the world, especially a lot of other developed nations, because they're welfare nations, meaning healthcare, you don't have to pay for it through an arm and a leg. It's covered for by the provinces and by the governments in other countries. In America, you have to pay for it with an arm and a leg, maybe even a kidney. A lot of other items are sponsored and provided by the government, which in American capitalism, that's not the case. So when other countries shut down their economies, for example, the United Kingdom or Canada, they have a very robust welfare system. Whereas if America does it again, our system, welfare system, is not as strong. How long are you going to keep on handing out unemployment insurance? And I've spoken to a lot of people that unemployment insurance is basically a joke, especially for people who have to do multiple various jobs to scrape enough money to pay for their bills. A lot of businesses have already closed. Local businesses, mom and pop businesses, and large national retailers. You continue this activity of keeping things closed or having very stringent restrictions, and you're further squeezing people. And the worst part is, compared to the recession of 2007, 2008, is you're killing everybody through a slow death. In 2007, 2008, it was one earthquake, one volcano, one hurricane, boom. And I'm talking in metaphorical. I'm providing analogies. In a sense, it destroyed everything within a short amount of time. So the pain was big, but it was quick. This time around, it's a slow death. So instead of providing individuals $1,000, the government should use this money collectively to subsidize healthcare even further, to subsidize the cost of food, to subsidize the cost of renting or owning a place. How can you do that? Use that sum of money, that chunk of money, and provide it to the producers of food products and the retailers to subsidize the price. Use that money to provide it to the conglomerates who own thousands and thousands of apartment buildings all throughout America, who lend money to people to purchase homes. Subsidize it, but then have a very, very strong oversight over these companies so that this money isn't abused. $1,000 given to each person is not going to help them. But when you take that $1,000 collectively, which equals $220 billion, it will go a long way. Thank you very much. We're done.